다들은 아주 이 안전대 조각나나 아니 대치 힘들다 찹직도 아니 가장 다다보 냠이 다보 사직 다보 취지에 마 냠도 취지야 당 아니 냠이 시 냠도 지금 있지.
So once again we're meeting in our prayer hall for a session with practice of the Sukhavati with Amitabha, as well as then the sutra teaching from Dabu Rinpoche, Dabu Laje, Gampopa.
어떤데 이제네 저당 아다 던들래 용의 바지 로직 칼라 로직 바지 로 니스진로 호인도 가오리다디 사자들래 냈네 근데 이제네 다들은 아주 네 초강나라 네 로게 파치 니 타만다지다 니 로게 니 동주니 그니 타만다지 차가 요리 좀 제가 안시나 난 산이 나니가 아니 볼렌 오르겐시아든 로요리 대체데 니 올마안도고요 파치 든타 순 든타 이제 든타 nga sa dawachi class ji 든 고사리시.
So this will probably be about the last time that I'm here to meet with you all in this year, because I'll be going to Portland day after tomorrow, and then to New York for a while. I'll be 5 or 6 weeks doing that.
Any Tachida Chukik Nani November Chida Chukik
Say Dumbo.
La
Say
Chida Chukik Chiba Chunga the Churuk Dela Tari Chunga the Churuk Langaya Yumi Chajins Neon Dela.
Oh, Indian Sunshu Chashi Yomarve.
Chushia did Tari Sumchini Motorwa.
So my plan is to come back sometime mid-November.
Maybe 15th or 16th. I will come back here from New York. Then we have another teaching in the November 13th.
So another teaching November 13th.
Ani
The Lakangla or Direbe.
Tela Marite Yeshu Kit Chokanaro.
Okay. Ole. Nyamadi.
Ala. Any that did Jida Juni and Dawachi and Chana Deli Chaisi use.
And then in December I plan to be doing a retreat, a private retreat of my own. So it's a Pacific Coast Church, is it?
Right, on the 30th,
Yeah.
On the 30th of
November.
Of November.
7 o'clock.
Oh, the day do Jane, nay young sitting and cock up the lang, din Chokanga Dabo. Tanga Chundin come back a Dabo. And it don't make a mambo W to the Korantinam, Tanga main the Abuji Hakom, the Tang, and it let you robust ni, Chiranzu. But Zadawata Hilang at Loni Link or Shandang, Takon to Tamalang in Tabani, to the chase. Bang at all the Pinto songs come about it. In Tabaning, could you have the Jibacon to the Chishuans?
And so from the depths of my heart I want to really thank the proprietors and all the helpers and everyone Oshin and everyone that's been doing the work on the recording and so on and streaming it on the web. It's been so helpful, so beneficial. Thank you so much.
All right.
Brett,
Family.
his family
I want
and
to say
everyone.
thank you so much. Yeah. Maso tele yon ne tanga lo mambo chindo hayuri te yine chi ding khamba te mewa ina maso chushi sa ko kabra ko yo mari ding khamba te yuli kading ke ani tang andele yon ne maso chu de she ke yuri chi ta te sa ngachu chame sam tong wa chi ri chi.
So I've been here for quite a while now, over 2 years, and but if we didn't have this space, we wouldn't be able to be having these sessions of instruction and practice. So we should all be mindful of that and be very thankful about that.
Te din de zane ta tere ngachu chushi ya de ta boru bo chi ge ani nyami ta bo la je ge ani gambo ba ge ta bu chu ye se ya de de ji ma dinani lo chu sun lo wa sin je lab do su chu lam den lo wa sin je lab do su lan chu ba sa wa sin je lab do su chu ba yi shi sin cha wa sin je lab do so se ya de ge nani 책 타만 입어.
Can I borrow the prayer again?
Sure. 디 책 타만 입어 대 만들어야 되지.
So we'll be continuing on with Dapu Rinpoche's 4-line prayer. Please bless my mind to go to Dharma. Please bless my Dharma to become the path. Please bless me so that the path is cleared of deception. Please bless me so that deception arises as wisdom.
레이디 잔에 드랭 아주 측강 타만이 돼. 줄람들 와서 로추서 줄람 란 추바스와 신절업도 선 추바 이시선 차와 신절업도 소소야 되니리시. 이데 가장 시에 차와.
So last time the the first lines were explained. By which the path, the Dharma becomes the path when there's no longer any desire for the changing happiness, the changeable suffering of samsara, and so all of one's actions lead to liberation. So we'll be going on to the last two, the third and fourth lines. Please bless me so the path is cleared of deception. Please bless me so that deception arises as wisdom.
당 의식이 출래 대시가 요리 다다 지난 중 의식이 출대 삽제다 대 하고서 어때네도 잔에 당 의식 출대 개 진보지 인과이나 내 남샤 윤도 개 진보고는 흥로지 출대 시가 요시.
But so now this being our main practice, as I always mention now, the preliminary approach to that is very important. So our preliminary stage.
내내 잔에 내 남자 준도 가르치고 있으나 공동 주약해 진보로 있어. 공동 간다서 주거르시나 나디 주달라 가르치도 용도더라.
So I always talk about adjusting our motivation. So the point is to ask ourselves, why am I here at this session of Dharma, at this in this assembly of Dharma?
다대 삼로 담보 당데 삼로 이바들라 나 들라 영야데 대화가 치데 지나랑 대지지 손나서 봐라 맞지 지다서 무즘당 아니 진dem도 간다 무즘데 내지를 손나 고때 뭐 다사 거야 본도와 거야 본면도와 삼사 된지는 로죠 나좀데 진dem도 간다 무즘 된지 말아 네 치다 가래 연구시는 말라 캡상지기 치데 캡상지기 치더와 지 핀토나 삼바 말라 핀토지 손나 삼바 된지는 추사야 돼 된지는 된지리데라.
And when we think about it, it's not like coming to look at an exhibit at a museum. We're not just coming to amuse ourselves and say, oh, that's interesting, or that looks nice, but that doesn't. Rather, we're looking for some kind of benefit, some kind of profit, so to speak, to come out of it, some kind of benefit.
다 데리도 자네 가리기 치드 핀도 요거도 나 추세야 되게 단 심지 참 안에 대완도 봐. 동할면도 봐. 다 고꾸네. 참아 지봐야 봐. 이 심지 대남 대화들라 내가 말한 지 칼라사야요 봐. 접을 중요해요 봐. 컴바야 보여 봐. 뭐다야 보여 봐. 근데 지그 체인데 또 위치의 대화자 많이 봐. 아니 타르톡기 빈지 대화하셔야지. 다 담배 취나니 산재가 공방서야 돼. 다뒤 대화도 대화 타르톡바 대화와 뒤 치도 취지가 요래.
And our underlying urge is for happiness. We're seeking, what kind of benefit we're looking for? Happiness. And just as we wish for happiness, so do all living beings seek happiness, both in the temporary forms of having enough food to eat, enough clothing to wear, housing, transportation, and so on. And then all living beings are as well, seeking that ultimate happiness of complete liberation, enlightenment.
대래도 전에 다 남고 타던 염도 심지 대 남지 치드 지금 거와 동하게 잠선들 전에 산지가 공방 톱에 치드 내 담배 취리하고 닌게 인시 님바데 담자야네 니 잡아자 많이 봐 아니 남샤 준데 냠니시기 인시 냠니시시야 대양 지금 뇌바지 뜨네 초안다 지금 뇌바지 동네 급살을 좀 검자돼야 되는지 세계요 말해 냠니시시야 돼 무정보지세 나랑 그 인우 이해다 제바다 빵 인비 이해다 제바다 정나 멀어로 과시 마정나에 너무 지와지다 무슨 딜 딘디 토라 니지 시기 무정보지 시기 삼바 타나양.
So I think that it's for this purpose that I will listen to these instructions. And not only to listen to them, but it's for this purpose that I'll implement them and put them into practice. Which doesn't just mean sitting on a meditation cushion and doing some recitation, but really seeking to transform myself through these teachings and the practice. To improve ourselves, to develop ourselves and improve ourselves in during this very lifetime.
다 딘딘도 자네 다 뭐만보지가 상고요래지 나랑 그 카탑라다다 진 뭐창 나니 몰라게자 시나양 뭐창 난 베나 나랑 패밀리 나니야 게자 시데 코 닝금도시 나한테 지게 난 타다냐 뭐 심신 참아 그던 가와 지트 그리시 근데 지 상킨 유스 그리시 삼바 짱글라니 또 맡았나야 삼로 들어가선 코와 짬지 주라나 피우 쌈좀 잡아.
So some people might think, I want to help. I would like to do what I can, but I can't even get my own family members to listen to me. How am I going to be benefiting all living beings throughout space? Now the point here is, to again be in developing ourselves with our intentions that if we can do something, to do it, to help, to benefit others, but otherwise, to refrain from harming others. These are the basic guidelines.
배나 산제의 심지세야 돼야 맹가와라 다간도시나 핀베 삼바 유다 미잠지 핀신 요바데라 산제시 랑지반 지바데라 심진시 인지반 지바데라 산제시네 맹데 다간도와.
So what is really determines how we label living beings, whether they're an ordinary, limited, sentient being, as they're called, as opposed to a Buddha, an unlimited, completely awakened being, is primarily on the basis of if they've become someone who is entirely devoted to cherishing others, benefiting others. That's someone who is a Buddha. Whereas someone who is primarily devoted to themselves, heaping all care and cherishing on themselves, That's the sentient being. That's the being that remains limited and caught in suffering. Loss.
Pe lamma mambo chi kin zamlen shibde sin da ke she ge yore. Pe nan zamlen shibde ke chi de ting sang America ni yo la zamlen shibde ke chi de jakap yip kala. Chodo chogo yore. Dan zamlen shibde ke go ri. Zamlen shibde go do chodo chogo do wa.
So there's, World Peace Conferences happening in New York where 40 different countries are represented, gathering.
Dan zamlen shibde kasi go yo na samlo de chin ko go ri ta.
And so this is the kind of thing we need to think about for peace in the world.
Ta de mere re ji de samlo ko go si mere re ji de.
And it's something that we each need to think about in our own being.
Pe na nga chu na me chi ge na la me samba zambo me chi yo ba ina na me de la ani shibde ta. Den ja ta.
So if there's someone in a family who's very altruistic, very devoted to the others in the family, it will bring harmony and peace to that family.
Ti na me de ge ti zhong ban chim chi de la me de la ping ge wa si.
And then that family will then become a beneficial force in the neighborhood.
Ti zhong ban chim chi de ge yu long de la ping ge wa pe na.
And then that will help the whole
Te de
area,
ge-
the country,
Ti long ba de ge ni ja kha la ping. De ge ja kha zamba le na ping ge wa si.
and out to the country and entire world.
Te de ja ne dang bo ni rang ni go zo go ri si ta. Samba zambo se ya de nga rang ni go zo.
So
Go zo
good,
sa de nga rang de ni go zo go ri si.
so a kind heart, good heart, has to begin with ourselves.
De de ja ne ta de nga chu chu xie ge yo ri. Chi ran chu chu ni ge yo ri. Nge chu xie ge yo ri. Ni ma de ni zong de chi me la ani pin ma to na ya. Ta du sa ni xie de. Ta na ya me la pin ma to na ya. Ni me ji sa ba. De ji dam ja ya ni chu ni go ri si.
So, in summary, listen to the teachings with the determination to benefit others as vastly as we can, and barring that, at least to be determined not to harm, not to bring harm to others. So with that kind of motivation, we listen.
Da namsha judo nge ti korte motivation sina ti kunong ju ya de kalma nga la gomja ji ge yo si ine da kalma nga la gomja ma go si ne kalma jigla ni ma training zung go zu de nga ma zambo ji ji gi simji tam ji la no ji gi mi simji tam ji la pimba ma hi si gi sa ba dan be chu lam de le ti ne nge de ji gi sa ba ane kalma ji lo gomja jo si.
So normally it's good to spend maybe 5 minutes with this meditation on setting one's motivation. But let's take a minute now to do that. Setting this intention to just be as positive a person, positive a force as we can. Be determined to help others, to not harm others on the basis of these teachings.
당 의지 주대 마 쉬게 아니 의지 주대라 그래 아주 답을 야미 답으로 못 지겠다 이제가 나니 다 타만이 돼 이제 자네 담보 취제的 지난주 대현의 싸움 야보지 땅은 차순 마조로 지시 인치를 뒤자주 돼
Shiga Jasan.
아 이제가 마지 줘다 하리
So we will be now continuing with the second two lines of the four dharmas of Dalpa Rinpoche. But to begin, let's recite the words of the four lines, slowly thinking of the meaning 3 times. Please bless my mind to go to Dharma. Please bless my Dharma to become the path. Please bless me so the path is cleared of deception. Please bless me so that deception arises as wisdom. Please bless my mind to go to Dharma. Please bless my Dharma to become the path. Please bless me so the path is cleared of deception. Please bless me so that deception arises as wisdom. Please bless my mind to go to Dharma. Please bless my Dharma to become the path. Please bless me so the path is cleared of deception. Please bless me so that deception arises as wisdom.
어때들이 다들이 이제 자네 다들이게 유기티 니데 마슈기 가장 다 로추스 마송와라 준차 가래요 로추스 송나 핑 가래요 다대지 고와기 니메당 남친기 핑 라소바 다 가장 난이 시에 두바리시
Now the first line, please bless my mind to go to Dharma. Last time we examined some of the benefits that occur from the mind going to the Dharma, the faults and drawbacks that come or follow from the mind not going in the direction of Dharma.
어때네 자네 다들이 슈 람든 로시 슈 람든 로추도 슈 람든 람 출바세르시 람 출바세르시야 다 디토니 내 만데 시슈긴시
So, now going on to the third line, please bless me so the path is cleared of deception.
다람 출바세르시야 되라 출바세야 돼 담보 가랑서라 간디진데 송아리 출르시야 돼 출바데 간디진데 송아리시나 출바데 가랑서 땜드 쭈니가 나네 마릭 바세야 돼 마릭 바세야 돼 가와니 송아리시나 아니 출미 입지가 남도 근데 지금
가리긴남토
출미 입지가 남도
수지
출미 입지가 남다 남도도 지레시 다 마릭 바 간다짱 마릭 부 줄을 띠네 림베이는 출바데 송아리시 마릭 바 드지 넘버 10바 멘다조 김치도 르바 초와스 발림바 제와 가시네 바데 림베이는 템드 주니데 리슨 코네 마릭 부 줄을 띠네 출르시야데 출바데 템지 송아리시
So deception is the first word to attend to what we mean by this word. What we mean by deception here is the ignorance, the self-grasping ignorance that is at the root of taking birth in samsara, the root of the 12 interdependent links that lead to rebirth in samsara. First of all, there is this self-grasping ignorance, a diluted sense of self, which is then acted upon, creating the karmic formation, which then leaves an imprint in consciousness. That imprint in consciousness is that what is then activated through the other links of to take then birth and going through the stage of entering into form, entering into union with form called name and form, and then the development in the womb of the sense faculties, and then becoming capable of of sustaining awareness, and so then contact occurs. And then when that occurs, then feelings occur. And once feelings occur, then there's a reaction to those feelings and the craving and the grasping to be joined with pleasant feelings and to avoid unpleasant feelings, which when it intensifies then becomes the karma for rebirth, called becoming, which then leads to birth, which is followed by aging and death. And so this is the round of deception, all beginning with that misunderstanding, misconception of ourselves, the world around us.
내리자는 단 줄서야 돼. 저 땅거 거니 랑 간르게 때는 줄이시나 안보 이제직 람니스거도 이제직서야 돼. 나랑 졸라 산지의 이제 산지라야 산지의 이제 나랑 졸라야 산지의 이제 말이. 당보 줄사도 이제 산지의 그런 거 돈이 줄서 말이지. 다 렉도 말이니 그 말이지. 렉네 아니 산지 말이네 아니 심진신의 많이 다가도 와. 들으신 출당 들으신 출이지.
So all living beings have a basis. Both enlightened beings and sentient beings have a base, a basic conventional existence that we deal with. The difference is whether we understand it or not. The Buddhas understand it fully. They're awakened to the nature of what is that basis of their existence. Whereas sentient beings, limited beings, suffering sentient beings are confused as to the nature of what their existence is, that basis of their existence. They don't understand it.
The lady Zane, the tape Chunjongdela, page number 6, page 6. Tell us a choice.
So in the little book, on page 6,
the Maji Sonda, Injitola.
So in English, all beings have Buddha nature, just as milk is pervaded by butter. When the two accumulations are churned with effort, at some point Buddha nature will manifest. That is my heart advice.
Tapena, Lam Tripa set to the Rita Mari, Tambosamno Tagodoa, Triple Sergi Yuta me. Tripa set to the Mari. This set to the.
So first we need to check, is it possible to get rid of deception, to dispel mistaken awareness and deception? And yes, it is possible.
Tripase, Jimsi Garrison and Tripase they call lower the Yumachi.
Now why is that? It's because these deceptions are adventitious. They come and go, they're fleeting. They're not, rooted in our nature. They just come and go. They're fleeting awarenesses.
Pena Nankala Timba Jindoa, Nankala Timba Yujit and Nanka Koranga, Tamboni in the Timba Kola Yumara. Nankara in the Karisina, Nankara in Motin Yuba, Mumbot, Tipanantombat, the Lessecular, Mumbot the Lessecular. Caught the Timba the lower the Yumachi, lower the Yumata Timba the Satugodoa, Tina Yin Aranzoyan, Tribasiate. Lower the Yumachi, they start to be rich.
So like clouds in the sky, they weren't there in the nature of the sky to begin with. The space of the sky was there, and then they formed in it. They came, and because of that they're a passing occurrence, and they also disappear. They also go away. So it's the same with mistaken awarenesses that pass through our mind. They can be dispelled because they're just passing. They're just fleeting awarenesses. They're not deeply rooted in our very nature.
But I'm going to Julayang, Shijulayang, the very ship Nimbo, Sanjak Gombate, yet Dumani Koranga, Tambo Nini Koranga. You do what it is.
Because what has been present in our mind forever, or primordially, is the Tathagata Garbha, the essence of Buddha, the Buddha nature, the very essence of the enlightened, awakened state has always been at the very primordial, innate within ourselves.
Jumsing Kandachi Yurisina, that the Tsikanani, Timbanaji, Omala Marji Chabananji.
And we can think about it like the butter that's present in milk, that's there in milk.
All the ladies are Pena, Omakaps Mario Marwa.
While the milk is present, we don't see the butter.
Oma Marda Kandachi Yongurda.
So how do we get the butter?
Ta Oma took down.
By churning, by stirring the milk.
Tardo Oma the Mani Kalangus, on de Omarida, the Marida Sinju Sayoba, Tami Mekaponsa Yoba, Linjadoasi.
And then finally we can see the milk separated from the butter. We can see them two separate.
Oh, Tina Anjing around to Shijune, they are shipping Himbo de. Any lamb Tony Latine, any Chuju Godang, Zuju Gote, ni, any Devatination Juya.
So therefore, by doing a similar process with our consciousness, our awareness, developing the two accumulations of merit and wisdom, then we can manifest that Buddha nature that's present in our mind.
Oh, the name Dutane, that's Hanje, the Simji Sia, Deni Layang, Rick the Marek Nigel Mato, and the Chebakan Yagamandoasi.
So, really, sentient beings and Buddhas have the same basis. It's just a matter of whether they realize the actual nature of their basis or not.
The name Dutane, the Dimbanang the Mason Shua, Sanje than the Simji Sia.
So going on with the next line, the next verse on page 7, the difference between Buddhas and sentient beings is whether they have awakened awareness or not. If you don't cling to them as permanently different, you will find Buddha within. That is my heart advice.
Sir, Rick Sia de la Care Ricina, Rigzi Yurtela, any Takarisicori, number Tobal and Deba, Shujukuyanji, Yishiji.
So what are we talking about awareness of? We're talking about a deep awareness, in Tibetan called yeshe, in Sanskrit jnana, a transcendent awareness. So that is free of conceptual thought. That is the Dharmakaya, that is the true body of the awakened beings.
The Marek Siatek Karitin and Hoyus in a Marek Siatek, any number tobak. Tokso Hina, Penna Tambong, Timber Junior and Goto, the Marek Pasia, Tike, and it's a Namdog on the door.
So we speak of unknowing or ignorance here. This is the awareness that is conceptual, that goes after the thought. So that pursues the thinking process. So the unknowing awareness is the one that takes the thought as its primary focus, as the reality.
Rixi year, Rick the Marek Sia, the Kawan in Tongo Yurisina, Naranga Sim Chicken in Tongo Yuris, Naranga Singuton in Tongo Yuris.
So what are we looking at with this question of whether we're aware of it or not? Our own consciousness, our own awareness. So that is what we're talking about, whether we see it or not, whether we understand it or not.
The Niditani, that the Panajablotti in the Anajivate.
So going on to the next page, 8 in the little book. Samsara and nirvana are no more different than the two sides of a single hand. Abandon dualistic discrimination. Pure lands are nowhere else. That is my heart advice.
다들 눈에 딱다리 시든 뒤지 되는데 세는 바본다 지 변도시 나랑 삼선라.
So I think this is so true. It, I think that, this really kind of strikes you, me at least, when I think about it.
이나 좀 긴가라인도 가랑을 뚫어 다는데 용도도 없대.
But I don't mean to like praise my own writing or something, say how powerful it is or something like that.
소진이 따지 산지세야 돼. 즉 산지가 공방 톱세야 돼. 썸열은 내봐나 지 산지세야 돼. 지 가wan다 지도 유나야. 산지세야 돼라 지 말에 많이 봐지 간지지 유나야. 삼라지 맛있겠던데 삼시그리지.
So sometimes when we think of Buddha, it's quite possible that we may think of something that just seems so incredible, so unbelievable. Some give me kyaba, 되니까래.
가시 지게 산지세야 돼라.
Right,
간지지 유나. 많이 봐다지.
Something just completely unhuman, something not like a human being, but something completely inconceivable.
근데 지금도 와서 단 디다니 즉 산지에다 심진세야 돼. 아니 지 고와다 냐안데세야 돼. 감성 고와당 냐안데세야 돼. 아니 락바가 또 접장 그 제발에 마도 미소도 와.
But it's not really like that. They're not so different. It's like the state of bondage in samsara or liberation in nirvana are really just two sides of the same thing, just looking at the same thing but from different angles.
빼는 데시 마 락바 잡대인도 고와시. 근데시 락바 된대인도 지 냐안데세야지. 다지 락바 또 접장에 마도 파타미소도 와.
So it's no more complicated than looking at one side of the hand, which is samsara, as opposed to looking at the other side of the hand, which is nirvana.
줌신 간데지린도 세나.
So why would that be? What's the reason for that?
셈라 안드스는 곰자는 따니 값서.
When we look at our own awareness,
다 간데세 거지. 다 나랑 그 냠냠 그 돈이 시에도 안드스는 마 곰자는 따 나라야 남도 요리 지난선에 남도 요리. 때 이내야 남도라 마뇽 그 제발지 요르와. 망다 용그 제발 요리.
so when we look at our awareness, thoughts arise. I know that from experience. I know you have experience of that as well. So it's a question of how much thought is arising.
근데 곰자한테 체인의 값을 심을 지어 마인 바치 지어 마인 시네 지어 매대와다 지 마인 바 소소랑 그 용어 차지 빼나 나섬 주미 시럽 바로시 나섬 주미 시럽 바로시 마치 뭔가 남큰 오니 소소라는 이시주여 와시네 랑그 지 용사지 빼나 문에 지 곰들 징두다 곰 르베지의 곰의 삼노탄데 디낭데 징도 냠냠지 나라는 용화 징도 삼바지 나라는 이시티 뭐 많이 받지서 빼나 디 프람테네 남주 빼자 디 프람테 매치 그 수와이나 프람 마즈리 매치 그 프람 네 프람지 수요나 그 프람 사뇽미나 프람라 간딘도 칸가탄 간딘도 시시에고나 코랑 사뇽미디자네 네 딘디 싱갈근도 시시에고나 시시그 말와 얘네야 나라 칼라 얘네 좀 믹서 제버든 파파지 디 브람텔 도와 얘네 제버든 파파지 유바든 나랑 용고 요리 디나시 곰자는데 시네 값서 다 가르쳐 그렇지 곰장기 코랑기 냠용고 토니 코랑라지 뇽자 센라지 대와다 아니 센라 가와다 아니 마르심 진탐지는 닌지 란싱 닌지다 깝데드 아니 야키치 자발라마다 산제다 산주스바나나 아니 투모 마인 바데 바 주마 마인 바데 바 디캅스 냠데 디소 따라나 다 던데지 언제 살아
So, what the experience is like is described in the praise of the mother of all the Buddhas, where it said, "Beyond speech, thought, or expression, wisdom gone beyond, unborn, unceasing, with a nature like space. Individual awareness's sphere of observation, homage to the mother of all the Buddhas." So, there is a space-like nature that is perceived, but it's as described in this verse. It's with an inner sense of knowledge, of self-awareness, that in which this is the nature that the self realizes that its own self is, and so it's not objectified, and it's impossible to express or describe. But it's something that you know as internally. It's awareness that's unmistakable to oneself. And so sometimes I give the example of the brown sugar. If you try to describe what the sweet sugar tasted like to someone that had never tasted it, you know what it tastes like, but it's really impossible to describe, to really depict, to express. And so it's like that, but it's very, very marked that it's very blissful and spacious and peaceful. So there is such a bliss that arises in your mind that you naturally feel compassion for others. Just that arises with it. There's such a bliss that you feel that you naturally feel compassion for others who are not understanding that. And then your faith and your devotion to the masters and the Buddhas is enhanced and made all the more powerful through the experience.
어떤데 되잖아. 다 람추바세를 써야 돼. 다 람추바세를. 다 람세야 돼. 그 가래 땡 거리시나. 따따당 가서 추바 세땅도 시에게 요래. 추바 간디세 세고 요래. 추바 센나 간데 용거리시. 추바 세땅도 시에게 요라.
So now we need to think, well, what is being talked about in this as far as the path, and then with these, how are these deceptions cleared away from that path?
다 대금 추바세세. 다 추바 세 차도 아니 추바 이시슨 차르세야 돼. 다 측강 타마되게 아니 추바 이시슨 차르시.
Now, when deception is cleared away from the mind, then it arises as wisdom, as this transcendent wisdom, deep insight.
단 추바 이시슨 차르세야 돼. 당에 빼지 야와이나. 추바 이시슨 차르세야 돼. 나랑 시바 쫑아가 나완다지 차르다. 시바 쫑아가 나완다지. 코랑 나와라 드마자완이 봐. 시바 숨그 값을 나와 충중진 통거요와. 네 값은 가서 람장네. 빼나 초람다지. 초람다라 빼자. 초람, 요람, 통람, 곰람. 물롭 람데. 나그 값. 시바 쫑아가 나와라 빼자 그도와. 다 추바 이시슨 차르세야 돼. 코랑 차마 니베 차자완이 매리. 뉴먼버 드바단 십즈 드바 차창와도 빵네. 시바 쫑아 나와 나지.
So we can think of the inner path of the awareness as being like the moon, and the deception being like the dark of the moon. So the total clarity, total clarified state of awareness would be like the full moon, 15th day, and starting from about the third day of the lunar calendar, there's just that sliver of the moon that's visible, and that darkness represents the obscurations, the obstacles to liberation and omniscience. the diluted obscurations and the obscurations to all knowledge. And so as we pass through the path, there's different stages of the path, which are called path of accumulation, path of preparation or application, the path of seeing, the path of meditation, and then the path of no more learning, no more training. And when we reach that path of no more training, or all the training is complete, that's comparable to then the full moon, the moon of the 15th day, when all obscurations are completely cleared away from awareness.
탄 타르도 다 가르쳐가 소람 조람 도나 골람 멀허블람스 야데다 디 값에 아니 다 냠자다 지톱스야다 튼단 튼상스야다 상제의 심지세야 가야메 바니 라고니 상제 차와리지 디 니모텔라 아니 주랑은 남도 고스네 주랑은도 차고 주랑은 시당 고스네 짠나양 다 디니모텔라 주랑은 니에가 말이지 주랑은 주네 가인신의 십즈드바당 뉴먼브드바다 십즈드바 차장 람이 다 차라
건다 그러면서 양계 소원아 건다 양계 소원아
아야 기에서
나 테스 저나 전소라나 전소라나
다
님배 저바다 시
he forget okay I also forget what I say okay I talk 집에 다 된대지 소람 조람 도나 골람 멀허블람 그 값에 지난초게 아니 다치 남도 그차 뉴몬도 차시다 또 몰라서 봐 고스 짠나양 라고 말이지 김치 가인신의 디 니모 디 값에 십즈드바다 뉴몬브드바 참아 다 차례이지 빵 차례이지 돼.
And okay, so when that state of no more training necessary is attained, then all of the delusions have been completely cleared from the mind. All those obstacles to liberation and enlightenment, and so at that point, there's no more. It's coming back.
Oh, sorry, I also forget.
So at that point, there's no more any differentiation between sitting on the cushion in meditation or getting up from meditation and walking around and dancing. There's no more any separation between those two states. There's no more any striving that needs to be undertaken to reach liberation. It's all completely liberated. And so there's no longer any question of stopping deception or stopping delusion. There's nothing to stop. It's all been dispelled, all obscurations of the mind. So whatever arises, there's nothing that needs to be dealt with or stopped. It's all that transcendent wisdom.
Pena jibzi malare baka loma tatanga chi tapu chuje si shede sa ti tapu ro mochi sia teke korang ka zawa lama la ya toni ngoma ton chuba yishi sin chan ngoma toni ton du kanri ji yongri sita kan sin ngala tonyo korang la tonyo yu marwa ta maung ba la toni ngoma ton na kanri ji yongri sin ya twa tang ni si tapu ro mochi malala.
So since Jesun Milarepa was the guru of Dalpo Rinpoche, it's good to refer to something that he said when Dalpo Rinpoche asked him, "What will it be like when I realize selflessness, when I understand emptiness?" Say if someone hadn't understood it before, so they asked Milarepa to describe, what that would be like.
Eli Milarepa ke the Churan Simdi Mazis, and the Churan Yinki Gom Jabs, Tange, Takoran Gom Laku, Churan Tindisi and Ekare, Lapson at the Gom the Jabdasi. Gom the Jabnet, and she said, Yamat Chigla. The Churan sink Namdokanani, Ishiki Chukate. Any Yolu Ganani, Kenyakanani, Sir Dodo in Yabanani, 닉 그나니 세도도지 니바 난시니 주랑 남도 그나니 휴주거든 니 맞지 니 그리지.
So Milarepa said to him, you just continue with the meditation as I've taught you. And then one day, during your meditation, it'll be like you're searching through a rubbish heap and you come across a turquoise jewel. Kenyi nanan sen.
괜히들 세니바 나지 작거리지. 디 니모텔라 추랑라 추랑게 다스 파긴 알아서 그런 파긴 소리 그런 지 파인 바다 진치 뭐 파긴 알아 아니 산지 그 대바지 다다 추랑 알아 주막 대바 그런 산지라 인사바 다른 지 주막 대바라 디 니모텔라 아니 주막 많이 바 대바지 파긴 나당 산지 야르 산지라 아니 마키 심진 되라야 다당 아주 주막에 hinje 찍어도 심진 되나 대화단 되나 동하다 따라서 좀치 망보치로 삼먹는 주막에 hinje 찍어도 다 되니 못들라 심진 탐지시 칸나 라바 잠제니 매는 치마 쇼와다 눈이 바쁘싱와 삼바 던데지게 아니 주막 야기 산지에 당 잡을라마라 아니 주막 많이 바게 대바 마키 심지다 로게 심진 나라 주막 많이 바게 hinje 세미 바지 다 되니 못 찍어야지.
And he said, Milarepa said to Dr. Rinpoche, that day when you find the gold in the rubbish heap or that precious jewel in the rubbish heap will be the day that you think back to me, your father, your kind father, and realize that, oh, my kind father really is a Buddha, really is a Buddha. Where you might have felt that before, kind of in a fabricated way, that day you'll have genuine feeling, genuine faith. Oh, my teacher really is a Buddha. And similarly, towards sentient beings who are caught up in suffering, that at that time also your compassion for them will become truly genuine. Before it may have been somewhat manufactured, you're training in it, developing in it, but at that time it will be completely unfabricated, genuine.
이 값을 심대라양, 이 값을 다 주랑 똑같이 심대라양, 다들 남도라고 짠이 많이 봐.
So at that time you won't have any conceptual thoughts running through your mind.
주랑 그 랑운이 자차자 다 줄이죠. 오. 당호만 나가 라마데 그 망보지 시대야데 니마 드링문이 라송 삼바지다. 다 주랑 그 자차자 다 줘야지 용야 요리시다.
And at that point, then you'll also have the sense that now I understand everything that my teacher was teaching me. So Milarepa guaranteed Dhamma Rinpoche that would happen.
근데 인디 안에 산지 좀 된데 그 당보 돈이 그 따와 산지 좀 된데 돈이 그 따와 지리 값을 다 때려 빼치 돈이 그 따와 된데 짜침 버린도 삼바지 산지 좀 된데 당보 된데지 공 아니 때려 간데 정도 시나 사비에 두들 산드마세 들츠 따위 추시 거의니 설 띵자 고알문저왜 문나 난답니다 내버려사 송나 된데지 송도와 당보 산지 좀 된데라 돈이 그 따와지인데 당은에 대당 은혜치 다 가르쳐 거랬지 왜 하장 짜친 뭐 노건자지다 다치 된데지 린도 삼바케니 된데 송도와시
Buddha himself had a similar experience. When he first understood selflessness, first understood shunyata, he was quite impacted by it. Felt that he discovered something that was just so precious, like a jewel. And he said, I've peaceful, unfabricated, profound, peaceful, unfabricated, I found this Dharma, which is like nectar, like blissful nectar. But if I try to explain it to anyone, no one will understand. So better I just remain in the forest. So that was Buddha's, first reaction to seeing this. It just was so internal, was so impacted by it that it was so precious, and didn't really think immediately that he could communicate it to anyone.
Yeah. Ani da tereng a chu gambo ba ke. Da chu yin do de de xie xu zhi ba yin da, da de a lan chan jia. Yang de ban do de jing de yan yu, tereng ma bon de ya mi qian zi xin de mo go.
Okay, so we'll draw the explanation of the four dharmas of Baba Rinpoche to a close here, and go on with some of our recitations now in a brief form. Don't worry, it's not going to be long recitation. We're going to condense it down this evening.
Xie. Qian zi de min ji de sha la de pa zi bin de de ji da. Please share each other. Xie. You have a book?
So please share if you don't have enough all the books for everyone. Oh, there's what I was thinking.
Page 25.
Excuse me, what page did you say?
25.
25.
25.
I'm going on to page 80. This second line.
다 때린 데라 살바 가시 진도로 와 데라 아니 코나바 다 살바 콘도 살바 가시 진도 네 데라 다 디지 마모지 근데 오바미 시야다 아니 지미 고데 히라 시기요 말이 근데 이제 자네에 뭐좀 놀듯이 마시고 있지.
So for the benefit of people who may be new, I'd like to explain a little bit about this practice of Buddha Amitabha, what we do.
당아치 벽 난슈 데라 라마 예담 칸도 슬랍가 자와 라마 무적가 자와 예담 아니 틀레가 자와 칸도 오시네.
So a major focus in Tibetan Buddhism is what's called the three roots of the Buddha, Yidam, and Guru, Yidam, and Dakini. So the Guru is seen as the source of the blessings, inspiration, and transmission of power and inspiration. Source of blessings. The Yidam meditational deity is seen as the source for attainments, all kinds of common, and then the supreme attainment of full enlightenment. And the Dakinis are seen as a source of enlightening influence, activities of the enlightened being. So them manifesting in activities. The Dakinis are seen as the root of that.
다 Amitabha 데 오바미시야데 다 별거난취 별거취나네 자와를 ingak라이나네 넙고 소를 요들게 고모 오바미시야데 산지 오바미시야데.
So, in a set of 5 Buddhas, a 5 Buddha family that's traditionally spoken of in Tantra, where there's 1 Buddha in the center and then 4 Buddhas to the 4 cardinal directions, Buddha Amitabha is the Buddha that's in the western direction of that mandala, that member of this 5 Buddha families, a major division of all the meditational deities.
Then the Yadamde Ngakzavalama, and Ngakzavalama, the Juba, the Singala, the Majuris, and Netan Yamni, the Yadam the Tolan Yamni Siguris, and in Malanaju, Malachushi the Kapsata, Buret, Zorseba, and in Malaysia, Java, Nepal, and this so America such a Kawala in that and the Konichushi use.
And so the lineage of this practice, of this meditational deity, came to my teacher, my root guru, and to me. So it's the main meditational deity practice of our lineage, and so it's what I practice and it's what I teach primarily in all my teachings to students in Malaysia and India, Nepal, in this country.
What the danger Tata Tanga Amitabha says, Amitabha says at the condition. That's Hanji Obami Korangan series, Ben a Metula in a main Ramala Yurat, and they designing at Singa Diaries.
So this mantra that comes now is the name mantra of Buddha Amitabha. Just as people have names, this amounts to calling the name of Buddha Amitabha.
Tati Karasegori Ta Betang de Layan, Betang Sen Hibatang de Layan Kashik on Amitabha, then the Tani Yuris, then the Mambo Tani as a pill at the Hima Mambo Tang the Yuris. Yena Yang, Kap Langachi, and it's Guru Mbuchisumbana. Che Pamalbe, the Duyang La, one in Dantan Hiba, Nimsi, the road now so Sumbana, any Puchungo Malapi, but Duyang Tadurning as you. Bebaina, any 2G Salam, you will goodbye.
So in the recitation of mantra, people will often recite the mantra in a monotone, Om Mame Devari, Mame Devari, Mame Devari, like that. But sometimes it's beneficial to chant, as advised by Guru Padmasambhava, with the beauty of flutes and violins, like a child calling out to her mother, make requests throughout the day and night, throughout all the 6 periods of day and night. So sometimes, to follow that advice, then we chant the mantra. And so the effect of that is that it more swiftly brings the attention, exhorts the deity to action. It's the benefit of doing the melodious chant. So we'll chant it together.
Take the Nankala, the Tankati Naji, Wombo, Bamusu, Sambasi, Samotang. And the Amideva, so time the Zane, Gumbo, Bamide, nature. A marble combo chicken nature. There remains in the marsh in the Rangachiolatin, Rangachiolatin backups, Lugiconi to butter. So, Mazima Limasama Chibala Sobata. And then Jimbalatin backups from Hagagoni during the Tamatsu Mancher. And then Ninkalatin backups, Simjigoni. And in Namsi the Nusen of Talasoba. Counter Young Talunga, Yisungatoni Sayali Megatu departs Hamateni, Tasong Saba. The chapter the Ningo Bobami, good. Song took the Rangalunga Yisumde and the Jibachi Chas on Saba. What the nature is that in Dordu that the Rangatsu Chuan Dordu Tangayura.
So again, to describe this brief ritual that we're doing this evening, and the way that you do it, is that as you're reciting the mantra, you're seeing Buddha Amitabha and Pure Land of Buddha Amitabha is represented in this tanka, this scroll painting, in the space before you. You just feel that Buddha Amitabha is really there before you. And this enlightened realm. And so you're reciting the mantra, then at the conclusion of that, you visualize Buddha Amitabha in that enlightened realm, then melting into light, an orb of red light, that then comes to the crown of your head, and then dissolves down through the crown of your head. And as it does so, it purifies all your negative karma of the body that's been created through any killing, stealing, or sexual misconduct. And then as it passes down through your throat, you feel that it purifies all negatives of your speech whenever you have lied or spoken divisively or harshly or wastefully. And then it passes down to your heart, this orb of red light. And as it does so, you feel that it purifies all your mental negativity of covetousness, of malice towards others, towards having distorted views, mistaken, wrong views about things. And at the same time, feel that your body, as it passes through the crown, and the speech that passes through the throat, and mind as it passes to your heart, that your body, speech, and mind becomes one with the body, speech, and mind, enlightened, awakened body, speech, and mind of Buddha Amitabha. Meditate on that for a couple of minutes.
Nga so ngwa ta mona ma se le ngna nga dawa chik sa chi la slo ji nan ro yu de ni jan ka cha nga ko lo ma ta so ka da kon ju ta chura me le ka so ngi nyam ni ka ri chi ko chi da de la ko de ni jan da nga me le ka so de la nga chun so ban so ya pa chi yong lo ka wo ma ri de ni jan ni tan de nge kang chu nga da lo ja la ma so ngna ni chura ka ke ju nang na ये जुन माल टीशा जी रिस्क के जिमोसिने ता 나가 닝당이 시게 요리 당 닝당 시 요시 시라메 등아 삼바삼 टीशा जी 인시 니들의 맞아 니 타마 레디 자네 와 마세는 뭐는데 마차지 인지 돈 말아로 지시.
So since this is the last time I'll be seeing a lot of you for a while, and it may be doubtful that you'll be meeting together here, and so what kind of practice should you do in the meantime? Well, before I left for India, recently, I composed these 21 verses of heart advice. And so, I don't have a lot to teach, but what was my most heartfelt advice I put in these 21 verses to think about and focus on in my absence. And in the meantime, before we go on to the final dedication prayers, let's read the entire 21 verses of the heart advice together one time. the sole source of all goodness, benefit, and bliss, is a virtuous guide who shows the unmistaken path. I beg the root Guru, whose kindness can never be repaid, watch over us with eyes of timeless wisdom. In the following Dharma advice for heart disciples, I have written down what I feel from my heart. Keep it in your heart and practice it. My heart advice for Vajra Dharma brothers and sisters. This precious human life, like a boat, is found but once and not repeatedly. Don't be slow to take the boat across the terror-filled ocean of samsara. That is my heart advice. We've attained this excellent basis, so difficult to find. If we throw it away in meaningless, harmful conduct, we are trading gold for worthless rocks. Don't waste this life. That is my heart advice. A son of the incomparable Shakyas said, if intentions are good, the path and destination will be good. But if intentions are bad, the path and destination will be bad. Call up good intentions. That is my heart advice. Mind is the king with power over all. The body is the slave, whether of virtue or vice. Not emphasizing imitation virtue of body and speech. Always watch your mind. That is my heart advice. All beings have Buddha nature, just as milk is pervaded by butter. When the two accumulations are churned with effort, at some point Buddha nature will manifest. That is my heart advice. The difference between Buddhas and sentient beings is whether they have awakened awareness or not. If you don't cling to them as permanently different, you will find Buddha within. That is my heart advice. Samsara and nirvana are no more different than the two sides of a single hand. Abandon dualistic discrimination. Pure lands are nowhere else. That is my heart advice. The tracks left by all Buddhas, past and present and future, quintessence of the 84,000 teachings, are the instructions on altruistic bodhicitta. Don't forget them, practice them. That is my heart advice. When among many, watch your speech. When staying alone, watch your mind, it is taught. In all actions, again and again, check your body, speech, and mind. That is my heart advice. Prepare with bodhicitta, the undistracted in main practice, and dedicate at the end. Full attention to these 3 points is cherished by those on the path to liberation, it is taught. Don't forget this. Keep it in mind. That is my heart advice. No matter how much glory, wealth, fame, or knowledge we may have, pride never raises us higher. Always keep a humble position. That is my heart advice. Whether we are jumping for joy or crying in pain, during all highs and lows, whatever illusions of happiness or sadness arise, use them for your spiritual path. That is my heart advice. As one who fearlessly vowed to protect all those who merely hear his name, keep this deity, Buddha Amitabha, as your eternal refuge. That is my heart advice. Reciting life essence mantra of Buddha Amitabha, like a young child crying for a mother, melodiously throughout 6 periods of day and night, we receive Amitabha's compassionate care more quickly. That is my heart advice. Not throwing away the long-held samaya between guru and disciple at difficult times, perceiving it as more valuable than life. Never forget. Keep this commitment in your heart. That is my heart advice. You are grateful to me for Dharma kindness. I am grateful to you for kind material support. Helping one another in this way is sacred Dharma work. That is my heart advice. In brief, disciples, wherever you live, Always remember and never forget all the advice I've given you. Then we will meet again in joy. That is my heart advice. The Master's rain of flowers of holy Dharma ripens the garden grove of disciples, manifesting a glorious summer of Dharma, always together, inseparably. This is my heart advice. The truth of the three precious jewels and the blessings of Buddha, Amitabha and Amitayas protect you inseparably until attaining the essence of enlightenment. That is my heart prayer. Thus, with a sound mind, this clod of earth has said what he thought, because of being urged by disciples whom he regards as precious as gold. It is the heart advice of this homeless wanderer with the title of a Dharma teacher.
唱什么？呀呀。
One brief note about verse 6. I remember a couple of words more that Rinpoche commented on this verse. We churn the two accumulations in the mind to bring it. That when the Buddha nature manifests, he mentioned that it will manifest in terms of the truth body and the form body of the Buddhas. It's called the Dharmakaya and the Rupakayas. So both in the mental form of the awakened mind, enlightened mind, as well as then the enlightened forms that manifest, appear to other living beings. 그냥 지금 숨어진 이제 전샤. 이거 그냥 축구든 축구 걸어서
야야.
시그니를 주는 제샤스.
Page number 150. 115. Just Jonga.
So 115, page 115.
Dedicate. 다들 같이全程跟你去你嘞，我跟你去谢里，你我就得人做你告诉你给我把都没把，要不就啥操啊哩，你的咱呢打工的共同举办南西，你得给我的你讲，让几百个记得嘛，一般那跟他的娘不记得，甚至他们这个记得呢，我给人上吧，你电话的，莫那的嘛，娘的送消息。
So in giving instructions about the teachings and you listening to the teachings, we've created immeasurable, fathomless positive energy. And so what we do now is we make a dedication prayer that energy be dedicated, sent out to all living beings, not be kept for ourselves alone, but that it be guided and directed to the benefit of all living beings. Rinpoche, Kyang Shabten Tuna Tigrabe. Kyang Shabten Tuna Tigrabe. Teng Tama Yinsa.
好嘞，
Right?
这个的，哎呀，就这么
You see these two little sheets in the book? I asked Rinpoche if it'd be okay to recite these for Rinpoche's long life, since it's the last time we'll be seeing him for a while. So let's recite in Tibetan. Raja